Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Yes, it's been a long while since I've done a video, but I do actually have a pretty good reason for that. So I have just returned from 4 weeks over in New Zealand. Now the first part of that 4 weeks was on a photography tour with some amazing photographers, and I'm going to show you some images from that trip in a minute. The second part of that 4-week block was just actually me having a holiday. So my wife came across, the two of us just toured around very casually. I did do some photography, but not as much at that point because I just really needed a break. So anyway, look, it was a fantastic time away. New Zealand is an absolutely amazing place to visit for any landscape or nightscape photographer. I would highly recommend it. But first things first, I do have to address the elephant in the room. What am I talking about? I'll show you. All right, so a lot of you people ask me all the time, why do I have a bull bar or a roo bar on the front of my car? Well, this is the reason. Have a look at this. On my way down to the airport to go to New Zealand, it was about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm traveling along the freeway. Now, those of you who live in Australia will know the Calder freeway between Bendigo and Melbourne. It's 110 kilometres, big divided lane highway all the way. Anyway, I get to about Wood End doing 110 kilometres per hour, and what happens? This massive big kangaroo comes bang into the side of my car, hits the front of the bull bar, smashes the headlight, and rolls itself all the way down the side of my car. So consequently, I've got a broken headlight, bull bar's bent back, this undercarriage is broken, it's all plastic anyway. This fender is broken, both back doors are dented in, heaps of damage. And it was at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was just sort of daylight coming. There was cars all around me, so I couldn't have my headlights on high beam, and that's why I didn't see the roo coming. And I reckon that roo or another one may have hit another car, because I saw another car veer off the road at the same time I did. Oh man, I mean, it was all happening, I'm telling you. And here's me in a desperate rush to get down to catch the aeroplane to New Zealand. I haven't got time for car problems. Anyway, the headlight was still working. The car was still able to drive okay, even though the front door popped open. 110 kilometres an hour. Anyway, so I got to the airport parking, parked the car, my head is racing, my head's spinning, and made my way to the aeroplane. But as you can see, a fair bit of damage on the old girl, and but the bull bar here did save the car. I can tell you that right now, because it's been bent right back, but there's no damage to the radiator or any of the other tyre or anything like that on the front. It took the most of the impact. So that is why, ladies and gentlemen, I have here this roo bar made at ECB in Queensland, here in Australia, for those who are wondering. Anyway, that was the elephant in the room. I'm not quite over it yet, because it's going to take months and months and months for the insurance to come through on this. All right, well, enough about the car. So what about the actual trip itself? Well, this trip was organised by a very, very good friend of mine called Levin Barrett from Rare View Photography. Now, Levin and I have known each other for many years, and last year he contacted me and said, look, Richard, would you be interested in doing a few photography tours together? So the reason he wanted to get me on board, I guess, was to give these tours a little bit more of an emphasis on landscape astrophotography. And so I thought about it for a while. I thought, well, Levin's a good bloke. Yeah, why not? Let's give it a go. So I did the Tasmanian trip with him earlier this year, and now just back from the New Zealand trip. And I've got to say, Levin is an absolutely awesome character. He organises a fantastic trip, and all the people who come along, I'll tell you what, they just had a ball. Everything we did was fun. There was plenty of adventure. We spent a lot of time together, and we got to know each other very well, and there was lots of banter and lots of fun activities. But you know what? The core of what we did there was to take photographs, and we did lots of that. We went to some absolutely epic locations. Now, I've got to say that Levin's ability to organise these tours is first class. I mean, he did all the legwork. I pretty much came on board when all the organisation was already done. But I think we work well together because we have different strengths and we complement each other pretty well. We get on well. And I think it gives us time to spread ourselves amongst the group that came along. And we had a lot of fun doing that, as I've already mentioned. So what I want to do in this video is just show you some images that I took myself along the journey, some with the group and a few I took later on after they'd all gone home and I was just hanging around a little bit. But to be honest with you, most of the time we didn't have a lot of time to take really detailed images because we're there to help the people who came on the tour. It's not about us, it's not about our photography, it's about them. And so that's why I didn't want to have a camera going there in people's faces, didn't want to record any video. In fact, I didn't even take my video camera equipment to New Zealand at all. So I just took 2 cameras, 2 lenses, and that was it. But even so, I want to show you these images. Now, if you're interested in doing any of these tours, I'll link Levin's website, Rare View Photography, down below. We're going to Tasmania next year. We're going to New Zealand again next year. The Tasmania trip's been booked out for months. The New Zealand one's got plenty of people already booked up, but there could be some places left, I don't know. But if you want to contact Levin and have a look and see what the details are and the price and everything else, you're more than welcome to do that. Just follow the link down below this video. But in the meantime, I'm going to leave you with a series of images that I took, some behind the scenes, some nightscape images, some daytime images, and hopefully that will inspire you. And in the meantime, I'll look forward to seeing you in my next video. I've got a few ideas. I want to get out there under the stars here back in Australia in the Australian summer, and you know, the Milky Way core season is just about gone, but there's plenty of other subjects to shoot in the night sky. And so I'll be looking forward to catching you in the next video. Have a great week. I'll see you later.